also known as the land of the free. One of the things that makes America feel free is that people have the ability to choose their own religion and how they wish to practice it. The most popular religion in America is Christianity, with 70% of people living in the United States practicing Christianity. It also presents a problem, how people of a majority religion are also discriminating against those who are in a minority. These incidents aren't just happening to individual people, but they're happening to entire communities.
I was notified by our front office who received the phone call, and then we immediately notified the police and moved into our security procedures.
All of this leads to the main question: why does this happen? To answer this question, we need to figure out what the terms anti-Semitism and Islamophobia define as. Anti-Semitism is defined by Webster's dictionary as, quote, hostility toward or discrimination against Jews as a religious, ethnic, or racial group. Islamophobia is defined as an irrational fear of, aversion to, or discrimination against Islam or people who practice Islam. Islamophobia has been more on the rise recently in America due to the war against terrorist groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The threat and levels of Islamophobia were backed up when President Donald Trump attempted to pass an executive order to ban all incoming flights into airports from Iran, Yemen, Syria, Sudan, Iraq, Chad, Libya, and Somalia. All 8 of these countries have Islam as their majority and dominant religion.
Overnight outrage from coast to coast. In Boston, thousands packing the streets. Officers in riot gear in Portland. In Seattle, police pepper spraying an angry crowd. From the shadow of the Statue of Liberty to the gates of the White House.
Refugees are welcome here. While the majority was against the travel ban, there were still those who had supported it.
I feel so much safer on an airplane now. I feel so much safer walking around the United States of America.
Mosques, synagogues, Muslim and Jewish community centers have all been attacked and vandalized. In October 2018, the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was attacked by an armed gunman. The armed gunman said that his motive was, quote, I just want to kill Jews. This leads people to asking the question, why do people hate the Jewish people at all?
Anti-Semitism is an issue and a problem that's been going on for centuries. One of the things we do here at the museum is to educate people about the history of anti-Semitism. It started long before the Holocaust ever happened.
It started when the Jews were blamed for the death of Jesus Christ, which seemed ironic because not only was he a Jew himself, but he also taught to love thy neighbor as you would love thyself. But stereotypes like Jews love money, Jews control the media, and Jews have high powers in business have been passed down through generations and still lead to a high amount of misconceptions about Jewish people and who they really are. The biggest anti-Semitic action in recent time was the Holocaust, with the Holocaust being caused by the Nazis and the American Nazi Party publicly announcing their support of President Trump. Hate crimes against Jews are starting to increase, with no real solution to stopping them currently being developed. Even a place like the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., a place dedicated to teaching people about the worst anti-Semitic action in modern history, has been a victim of anti-Semitism itself.
The curators I share an office with came running down the hall and told us that there had been a shooting downstairs on the first floor of the museum. And of course, we didn't believe her, because how could that possibly happen here with the security that we have?
Now that we've established what both situations are and why they happen, is there any way that it can be stopped or prevented?
I think that people who are at the top of the political leadership right now have done a terrible job of diffusing the expressions of hatred in the United States.
Currently, the only solution being put in place for safety of other people is just providing their holy places with security. For places like Agudath Achim congregation in Alexandria, Virginia, people there feel safer with this security and are proud to practice their religion.
I have to say, I feel very safe.
For the most part, very safe.
I feel relatively safe.
But until we can find a solution that helps with more than just better security, and a solution that can help solve the problems of hate crimes and senseless violence against these minorities, the minorities will have to keep fighting against the majority and will have to continue dealing with the problems that they currently face every day from now on.